Cool. Let's talk about the Sunday games because we must. Nice day out. Spurs 1, Villa 2.
Nice day out. The temperature's plummeted quite a bit. Congratulations to our Villa followers, listeners, viewers for winning. It was a game.
Making it into the top 4 because I think that's quite a big deal for them.
Yeah, and I know it's interesting. I keep hearing Villa say, "Well, you're talking about a top 3." No, listen, let other people talk about a top 3 and you quietly go about your business doing really well. It's 22 league wins this calendar year with a month to go. Like, that's amazing. Unai Emery has done an absolutely phenomenal job. The game could have gone either way. There's no doubt about that. The game hinged very much on the Bentancur injury by a player called Matty. And I want to talk about this, right? Because I did check on his Wikipedia. His name is Matthew.
Okay.
Right. So what, adult is generally going Matty?
Well, here's the thing. I watched the West Ham game on an Australian channel. Pretty sure it was an Australian channel. And Matt Ryan was on there.
Oh, Matty Ryan, yeah.
It was advertising like some skin cream or some shaving cream or something like that. You know, doing these agile fucking saves. Actually, he wasn't. He was advertising some sort of sports vest or something that shows your movement or something. Anyway, it came up as Matty Ryan. But when we'd spell Matty, like Matty Cash, double T, right?
Yeah.
Matty Ryan was M-A-T-Y.
Okay,
Ryan.
One T.
Yes. So, does that help your argument or case or discussion or debate? I don't know, James.
Sorry, I'm not happy with Matty. And most FPL managers are not at the moment either. Expendable, yes, possibly. Avoided a price drop last night. It may be coming. I'm probably going to stick it out for the moment. I'm 0.2 up on him, and you could say, yep, expendable. The reason I think it's expendable as well now, he's obviously up to 4 yellows. You know when the suspension's coming, right?
Yeah.
Game week 18. But also, he might not start at Bournemouth. And there's a couple of reasons for that. The main one being, I think, the performance of Leon Bailey. I thought it was fantastic. And to be honest, I know Emery basically had to get Cash off the pitch, but he didn't have to put Bailey there. He could have just put Tielemans on, put Tielemans to the left as they'd done in the previous game, moved John McGinn back to the right-hand side. That would have been the obvious thing to do. But putting Bailey there, what it did was it made Destiny Udogie think twice about what he was doing offensively. And he was fatigued and he was knackered. The whole team was fatigued and knackered, by the way. And I thought Bailey was really good. You know, he has that vibe. Maybe because I sit on that side. When he steps inside on his left foot, you do think, oh, he's capable. So Bailey's one I think is definitely not buy, but he's one really to keep an eye on, I think, in the next couple of weeks. All of a sudden, Diaby was pretty quiet, but then largely from open play sources in the first half, Villa were quite quiet. To be honest, in the first half hour, I thought we were brilliant.
That's what I've heard as well, is that you played really well, had a lot of good chances. Could have been 3-0 up before they even had a shot at goal. That
wouldn't be... to be fair, it could have been 2-2 after 5 minutes. Villa had their chances during that period as well, but their best ones were still primarily from set pieces or crosses rather than playing through us.
And you edged it on XG.
You couldn't look at Villa... This is what's interesting. You couldn't look at Villa in the opening half hour and think... You couldn't say they'd been overwhelmed or played badly at all. Just to think my team was playing very well, primarily because the best player on the pitch by a mile was Rodrigo Bentancur. He came in, he played the Basuma position, and he was playing fantastic, and he was aided very well by Giovanni Lo Celso, who was dropping into deep positions, and Kulusevski played a position that's more akin to how Odegaard plays for Arsenal. So Maddison plays as left half space. Kulusevski played it as the right, with Lo Celso dropping deeper. Remember, obviously, we lost perhaps Sarr as well to injury with Basuma being suspended. So Bentancur was playing great. Then he gets injured and the game changes. Do I think we'd have won if Bentancur stays on the pitch? It's the same argument that Arsenal fans would give when Declan Rice got injured against my team in game week 6, that they probably would have gone on one. So these things happen to all teams, but he did change the narrative of the game. And Villa created chances throughout, some very good ones in the second half. Watkins could have got more than the one goal that he got. I turned to my dad with 25 minutes ago. I said, we're out on our fate. They had, other than Kulusevski, and none of them had anything left in the tank. And there wasn't anything on the bench to to change it. So it's not a complaint. We're working with what we've got.
We'll come back in for Bentancur against City.
Well, Bentancur's presumably he's injured now as well.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I'm assuming he's not.
I don't know the Papsar situation, but we think he was probably close.
I don't think you can buy Spurs at all right now, can you?
We've got Man City away. Of course, you're not going to buy.
And what about those thinking of selling Son?
So Sonny is narrative, right? So he had 3 goals scored that were all offside, and other than I think the one that comes off the post, they're all comfortably offside. Johnson was comfortably offside for the second one. He's well offside on the first one. On the first one, by the way, watch it back. And when we talk about key players missing, it's what happens in your mind very quickly. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg takes a touch that he doesn't need to take. He just needs to play the ball through. And if he plays it first time, then Son is away and he's through and he scores and he'll be onside. Because he takes that extra touch, Son thinks he's going to go and he's already off. Højbjerg takes an extra touch, he doesn't. And that's the difference at elite level, because unfortunately he's an average footballer, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. And again, he didn't play badly when he came on, but he's no Bentancur, right? Bentancur plays that pass first time. Lo Celso, any other player near enough, plays that pass first time and he would be onside. I know a lot's made of Villa's offside trap, and it's the same narrative that Liverpool get, right? When it works, people praise it. When it doesn't, people slam it. But they're very brave, and I admire the bravery that they have in it, and most of the time it works very well for them. With Son, again, it's narratives. Do you go, oh, well, he's put the ball in the net 3 times and he's had several near misses. He had another one which Johnson was offside for, another one which was a bit behind him and he put over. I think he created a couple of chances himself. All I could tell you, honestly, watching the game was that I didn't think he played well. I thought, to be honest, he was probably our poorest player from the starting team during the course of the game. I didn't think he was particularly at it. I think he looked fatigued. I think a lot of his energy was spent off the ball rather than on it. He looked tired to me. No, that doesn't matter, right? We don't play for a week, and Manchester City is still a fixture that could suit him, right? You know, there can be, if you get the passing right, and it doesn't need us to have the right personnel on the pitch, if you can get the passing right and get him away, then you know the capability. And the fact he's put the ball in the net 3 times tells you what you know, right? He's a great finisher. So I think you can spin that narrative either way. As it stands for me, if Bowen's fit, I'm bench him this week.
Son. Okay. And
but with what I've got, Saka, Martinelli, Bowen, who's my other midfielder, Suj, that I've got.
Mitoma? Or you sold it? No, Mbomo.
Oh, Bumo, yeah.
Bumo, sorry.
Right, so they all play.
Correct.
Alvarez, Haaland, Watkins.
Yeah.
I would bench Son at Man City. Now, I don't advise most others do that. If you want to sell, I get it. What I'd say is, like, consider that -4 I'd said about buying Salah would. So to get Salah in, yep, get Salah. But I also spoke about 18. And they're probably the 2 best captaincies in that week is Watkins and Son. And consider that. Also, consider that I don't think there's anyone else in the Tottenham team at the moment that I trust enough to get goals regularly enough. Do Tottenham have a good day? Son will probably have a good day. Johnson is so far off it in terms of fitness. Miles off. Absolutely miles off fitness. It becomes really obvious really quickly in second half of games. Brian Hill I spoke about a lot, like tries hard, good technically. He's too weak for this level. He'll never be strong enough for it. Lo Celso did fine. I'd called for him to be in the team. I hope he stays in the team. He's obviously a little bit fortuitous with the goal in the sense it takes the deflection. And I do think he should be monitored because he's a really cheap price as well. But I probably would rather punt something like Kluivert if I was to do so at the moment, actually. So with Sonny, I think it depends what you want to do with it, right? Know that he'll score goals. And know that there's an unpredictable nature about when those goals will come. If he gets created chances, he'll score goals. And he doesn't, you've seen that yesterday. It doesn't need Maddison for him necessarily to get the chances. I really enjoyed the way Tottenham played yesterday, and I think it very easily could have gone the other way. But full credit to Villa, they're on a great run.
Indeed.